It's the 26th of July, and I think the one who is yelling, "Thank God it's Friday," will be Secretary for Development Chen Maobo. It's been an unnecessarily long week for him.
Yeah, and it's gonna continue today. We talked about yesterday these deputations he's got to listen to. That's going to go on today, and he'll be happy. I'm sure to maybe have a drink.
Yeah, the key word for him for this week, obviously, is dragging.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, or dreadful.
Yes. He'll have earned a good rest over the weekend.
Yeah, but I thought you were going to talk more about campaigns, right?
Yeah, we talked a little bit on Wednesday about new campaigns. We talked about
grassroots ones.
Really grassroots ones like the DSS opposition coming out of St. Stephen's and St. Paul's. We talked about kind of a mixed professional and grassroots opposition to the various stamp duties, the BSD, the DSD, the SSD, led by Raymond Ho from Sai Kung, but backed by some industry groups. I want to talk today about another kind of campaign, and one that we don't see very often in Hong Kong is really a more professional style of campaign. There's one that's been put together recently, kind of wasn't a front page thing when it launched. But they've been really effective, I think, because they really understand the incentives driving government, and they know what they know. They're very clear about what results they want to get. It's called Stop IT, and it is not Luddites or people who want to stop technology. It's Stop Illegal Trade.
Oh,
okay.
So stop it.
Stop illegal trade, and what they're
IT is not information technology.
No, not in this case.
But they play on the pun.
Yeah.
IT means it. So it's stop it.
Stop it.
And IT is illegal trade.
Illegal trade. Now, they are specifically talking about the illegal trade in contraband cigarettes. Okay, so there's two types. There's counterfeit, right, which are produced God knows where, made out of God knows what, and distributed into the market. But the other type that's much more common is what they call not duty paid.
Yep.
So cigarettes that are produced somewhere else, they're supposed to be sold somewhere else, and tobacco tax paid on them, which is quite common.
Yep.
But somehow they're finding their way to Hong Kong.
Or in Cantonese, the water goods, right?
Yes. Yeah, but this one's a little bit different in that in Hong Kong, it is illegal to bring them in.
Yeah.
A lot of the gray market stuff, it's quite okay if you're bringing electronics or whatever. But for tobacco, it is meant to be tightly controlled because, of course, it is taxed. It's one of the few things we do tax here.
Well, Andrew, tell me, how do you distinguish a grassroots campaign from a professional campaign?
Well, it's really about the people that put it together. And for this one, you've got two principal motivators. A woman named Louisa Tam, seasoned media professional, used to be the head of the op-ed pages at the South China Morning Post, lots of experience in media. She's a pro. She has partnered with a gentleman named Robin Jolly, who's a former member of the Hong Kong police force for decades, really. And he worked in Mong Kok, kind of anti-triad, and has done some really interesting things. And the two of them are concerned about the fact that there is this illegal trade in contraband cigarettes. Flyers are going out to households in the New Territories that say, hey, buy your cigarettes from us, a fraction of the price that you would pay in a normal retail outlet. And you get them, you make a phone call, and then you kind of meet up with somebody in a back alley or wherever, and they give you these tax-free cigarettes.
Yeah, but this constitutes to, I think, illegal promotion too, because you are not supposed to advertise or prompt people to buy cigarettes.
Oh, it's all illegal. I mean, it's illegal cigarettes,
even the flyers.
Promotion.
Even the flyers are illegal, right?
And it's fairly open. If they're putting these in flyers in people's mailboxes, it's pretty open. It's out there, and that was their concern. They know how much contraband's in the market because, as you probably noticed, people who smoke tend to leave their cigarettes and cigarette boxes everywhere. You walk around, you see them. So the way they do it is they have a survey where they go and they collect these basically garbage, litter. And then they look at the packaging to see how many are legitimate, sold in Hong Kong, and how many are not. And it's about 40% of the market right now is contraband. Is not duty paid. So coming back to the campaign, they had a complaint. They went out. They brought in allies, right? The hawker stands, the people that run the hawker stand retail association, because they're losing money because they're legitimate sellers, and they're losing out to the illegal market. So they brought in people like that. They brought in some district councillors from the New Territories, where a lot of this distribution was going on. And then parents groups, because the concern is that minors can get it.
Oh, parents group.
Yeah, because if you go to a 7-Eleven, they're not typically selling to under 18s. But at these dodgy guys, they don't care who they sell to. So there's concern about minors getting it. So they put together a campaign. They got allies. They went out there, and it's been amazing because in the last not since the 90s have you had a major bust of contraband cigarettes being smuggled into Hong Kong, but in the past 2 weeks there have been 2 major busts. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. One was from Customs. Customs made a major bust within days after these guys having their press release, getting in the media, and then a week later the police had a major bust.
Oh, I see.
This is, coincidence? That's a pretty amazing coincidence. Given it's been the 1990s since there's been a major bust, all of a sudden these guys come out and say, major problem, illegal activities right out in the open. Why isn't the government, meaning Customs and police, why aren't they doing more? And all of a sudden, action's happening.
Well, but interestingly, I would say if I just listen to what your descriptions are, I would say grassroots campaigns and professional campaigns have one major difference, is that professional campaigns already drive to a solution. Yeah. They try to solve the problems, whereas grassroots campaigns, they usually drive for promotion or being more high profile, and they may not offer a solution, whereas professional campaigns, they might be low profile, high profile, but they offer a solution. Would you agree on that? Or they can, they can spell out the solutions much more clearly than grassroots campaign. And I think this is something that the grassroots can learn from the pros. I think if they want to have a successful campaign, they have to go for a solution. Right?
Yeah, I think one of the things about grassroots campaigns is they tend to be put together quickly.
Yep.
Not as well thought out, and usually they're trying to stop something.
Oh yeah.
Okay, but the irony here is that the professional one is long term.
Yeah.
They usually have a specific action in mind, but in this case, the long-term professional wants to do something positive. They've actually called themselves Stop IT, which is usually characteristic of the grassroots. Yeah. But, in this case, these guys are it seems like they're getting action and fast.
All right. Well, I think to conclude this week, I would end with the word coalition, because I think if you listen to what Andrew has just said, professional campaigns has 3 very important elements where grassroots campaigns are lacking. I think, first of all, they have very catchy taglines. Yeah. And it's well thought out. Or some of them may do some testing on that. Yeah. And they also have research. Yeah. You mentioned how they collect cigarette boxes.
The long-term people, they get good research.
So they do research. Whereas a lot of the grassroots campaigns, they don't have very comprehensive or longitudinal research. Yeah. But most importantly, I think most impressive is how they build coalition for a longer-term campaign.
Yes.
You mentioned the hawkers and also the parents group. Mm-hmm. So the hawkers and the parents, they join forces.
Yes.
And to pursue a goal. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is very unusual. And this is why this is a professional campaign, but not a grassroots amateur campaign, because they build coalition professionally. I think the key word is coalition.
Yeah, the grassroots might make the front page for a day or a week, but it's the pros who really have the long-term impact and get what they want.
I agree. So I think if you want to make long-term impact, how to form a coalition, or in the public affairs world, coalition building would be very, very important to you.